Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you guys an update to my Zing deck profile for April 2016. This is a pretty fun deck and a lot of different variants as well, but I decided to stick with the pure Zing build for you guys. If you want to see a Zephyra version of this deck, comment down below and I'll be sure to work on a build as that as well. So let's go ahead and get started. For the Zing monsters, I run 3 Suwani. Each of the Zings share the abilities in which if they're destroyed, you can special summon another one from the deck, and they also add on effects to the monsters that you synchro summon using them. And Suwani's effect allows the monster to gain 500 attack points, so it can really add on to a lot of different power struggles, like let's say for Armades if you use it for that. And you really want to use the abilities depending on what cards you have out on the field, like let's say Skill Drain or something like that. And I also run 3 Beyond. Beyond's effect is when you use it for a synchro summon, that monster cannot be destroyed by battle. So along with keeping lower attack point monsters safe, it also will pretty much add on to power if you use it with Suwani. So if you make Boxia using Suwani, Chuen, and Beyond, you can make a really heavy hitter that can't be destroyed by battle with something if your opponent makes something bigger to try and get over it. And I also run 3 Bixie, one of the lower attack point ones, but also one of the better effects. Any monster that is synchro summoned using this becomes immune to trap cards, so you don't have to worry about Bottomless, Torrential, any of the mirror forces. It's unaffected, which is why I really like running 3 of this. And I only run 1 Pulao. I had it at 3 when I first made my very first Zing deck, then to 2, but now I'm down to 1 just because it's searchable. His effect makes your monsters unaffected by spell cards, so not as reliant as traps are in any of the formats. Usable. Also the level kind of makes it adjustable with synchro summons. So, but just keeping it at 1 works very well with me. And I also run 1 Tauti, one of the bigger Zings. Always want to get him out with the special summon effect. Never want to have to tribute summon for this guy. His effect is, the monster that is made with it cannot be targeted for effects like Mind Control or Big Eye. Control can basically not change, which really helps. Play tested against some Mermail builds where they would, make Big Eye, and my monster would be safe from things like that. And I also run 1 Zafraniu. This is one of the 2 Zing Pendulum Monsters. The monster effect is when this card is Pendulum summoned or when it is destroyed by battle or card effect while in your monster zone. You can add 1 Zing or Zephyr spell or trap from your deck to your hand. You can only use the effect once per turn. So it's a good path search. If you special summon it out, then it's destroyed. You can get path to use next turn to shuffle back any of the Zings you have in your graveyard to draw cards. And for the tuners, I run 3 Chuen. Basically, you can special summon him from the graveyard when one of your Zing is destroyed, but banish it when it leaves the field. Overall good, just because you can abuse that effect if there's a destruction effect, so you'll special summon a Zing, get out Chuen, and have a synchro play right there, especially since, it's a tuner monster. And it's level 1, so it's also adjustable with all yours, including, Suwani especially, Beyond, any of the big ones really helps. And I also run 3 Jiaotu. This one's really good. It's basically made to set up, it's like a rescue rabbit, I'd say, for the Zing deck. When you summon it, if you control no other monsters, you can discard 2 Zing from your hand to the graveyard to special summon 1 Zing monster 0 attack and 1 Zing monster 0 defense from your deck. So you can get the different levels, which are like, let's say you summon Bixie and you summon Suwani with the effect. That's a level 8 right there for Boxia, or instead of Bixie, you could go for Pulao if you need Yazi. You just have a bunch of different plays with that card. Plus, you'll get all the effects of the Zing monsters that you used for the synchro summon. And I also run 1 Zafroxy. If it's Pendulum summon or special summon from the main deck, you can target one Yang Zing or Zephyr monster you control except for Zefroxy, and that monster is treated as a tuner monster. So it could turn any of your non-tuner Yang Zings into a tuner monster to use with Zefroxy. So if you have something on the field and you're lacking a tuner, this card's really good to jump into, especially since it's a level 3 and Jiaotu and Chuan are level 1 and 2. So it's more adjustable if you need it for that situation, because most people argue, why wouldn't you just go into Chuan or Jiaotu? The level 3 can make or break whatever play you want to go for. And that is it for the monsters. I like keeping it as a pure Yang Zing build just because all the monsters do work with one another. But for spells, I run 3 Yang Zing Path. Definitely have to run 3 of this. You target 3 Yang Zing monsters in your graveyard, shuffle all 3 into the deck, then draw 2 cards. You can only activate 1 Yang Zing Path per turn. It's recycle ability, because once you stock up enough of them in the graveyard, you want to be sure to reuse their abilities. So running 3 Path for draw power and reshuffle ability really helps. And 2-Pot of Duality, I like this card basically because you can, sit on your Yang Zing monsters. You don't have to necessarily go into a synchro play immediately, especially if you don't know what your opponent is doing. Duality helps set up cards. You can get creation to your hand, any of the traps, any of the spells you'll need later on with Duality, and then you could just say basically I set my Yang Zing monster and call it a turn right there. And 1 Soul Charge just so you can get materials back for synchro summons. 1 Regeki, pretty much staple, and also 3 Twin Twister really help, especially with pesky back row like Solemn Strikes or anything like that. And for traps, I run 3 Yang Zing Creation. This card's really good. Once per turn, if a monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 Yang Zing monster from your deck. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except synchro summons, so you'll get an additional monster along with the destruction using this card, and you can only synchro summon effect. Isn't that bad, because for me, the whole extra deck is synchro monsters. You need plenty of resources. And I also run 2 Oasis of the Dragon Souls, just the Call of the Haunted for the deck. Goes into defense mode, because if you need Bixie or Pulao or something like that, or Chuen, keep it in defense mode, otherwise they'll just ran it right over, and destroy it. Why I don't run Call of the Haunted. And I also run 2 Breakthrough Skills just to deal with the pesky monster effects. Good with Twin Twisters as well if you end up in your hand to get over anything that has a effect that, means it can't be taken over. And 1 Vanities, 1 Solemn Warning, 1 Skill Drain, and 1 Bottomless. Lacking the strikes right now, but if I had Solemn Strikes, I'd most likely take out the 2 Breakthroughs just for the better counter trap and the Bottomless. And for extra deck, I run 2 Boxia. This card's really good, very easy to make in the deck, like all the levels of synchros in it. It has a shuffle ability by destroying a card, and basically a shuffle effect for each material used to make it. You shuffle cards on the field, and also has a destruction effect where you can destroy something and special summon something. So if you destroy Yang Zing, you'll get the search off of that and Boxia as well. And I also run 1 Yazi. Yazi's the level 7 version. It's good because it is unaffected by card effects. It cannot be targeted by an opponent's card effect, and also has some pretty bigger stats than Boxia. And I also run 1 Chao Fang, just one of the bigger Yang Zing monsters in the deck. Pretty difficult to get over him as well, especially if you can get his effect off successfully. And I also run 1 Bao Meng, 1 Armades, 1 Samsara is really good in the deck, 1 Clearwing, 1 Black Rose, 1 Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend, 1 Beals, 1 Scrap Dragon, 1 Trishula, 1 Leo, and 1 Star Eater. If anything, if I had to take out for a Goyo Guardian, I would definitely take out either maybe the Scrap Dragon or the Armades, just because if you want, a little more synchro variety, I try to go from all the way from, 4 to 11, just because of all the different plays in the deck. Or I might even take out 1 Boxia, just so you can have more level 6 plays. But yeah, that's it for the deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.